Why the fuck are we not live yet? Oh, we're live.
We're going live. We live. Hold up. We live. Hold up. Welcome back. We in the man cave. We in the man cave. We live. We're talking to you straight out of our man caves.
Yo, your mic sounds like ass, bro.
Does it sound like ass? Hold up.
When you scream, yeah, man.
Dude, it sounded bad, bro.
That was bad.
That was pretty bad.
How was this? How was this?
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We're having technical problems here.
Testing. There we go. Does that sound better?
Yeah. Are we live on YouTube?
Yeah, we're so live. We're live.
Okay.
Jesus, we live. We're back. We're talking smack. Yes, we are live. We've established that like 5 times. We are live.
No, I know, but if you see why we gotta update the thing, because now, like, if you look at the actual banner, it just looks like they don't even know what we're talking about. So we gotta definitely do that going next for next week. But whatever, we're live now. We'll figure out next week. You know, this is what happens when you get 3 amateurs then behind a YouTube channel. Things happen, we forget things, and it happens. It's life. We move on. Now to continue, I'll let the host do what he needs to do.
We live and learn. We live and learn.
We live and learn.
All right. So all right. So we had a lengthy discussion. We haven't put, we're talking about, a lot of spiritual stuff lately. Everybody was celebrating Easter or the resurrection. Some people don't celebrate Easter. Some people don't celebrate the resurrection. Some people celebrate both. But backstage we started talking about, what were we talking about? Megachurches. Megachurches. That's going to be the topic of the day. What do you guys think? And well, not just megachurches, organized religion in general, right?
Correct.
Organized religion in general. So I want to hear. Let's go with Bello's opinion first.
Go with Carlos first, because I'm updating the thumbnail right now on this one.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, Bias. What do you think about organized religion?
Personally, I think organized religion can be good. The problem is, once, let's say you have a priest or a priest that reaches a certain level, they get corrupt, because at the end of the day, they're human. So the bigger the church gets, the more in the future it actually gets corrupted and it becomes bad. So,
but why do you?
And then what? Okay, the Catholic Church. I find the Catholic Church as a major business.
Okay.
That does not pay taxes.
Right, but okay. I mean, they don't pay taxes. You think they're a major business? What are they selling?
They're selling technically religion and accepting donations and
wow, holy shit!
They're selling religion, right? And then they accept donations, and they try to put that they're out for good, and sometimes they've done a lot of bad stuff.
Okay.
But why do you think? I guess why do you think they're do you think they're evil per se?
I don't think they're evil.
Okay.
100% evil. I don't think they're evil.
So let me rephrase it this way. Do you think they're evil? And if not, do you think they're good?
I think on the day who's managing these religions are they are human, and we can go both ways.
Yeah. And again, we're not just focusing on the regular churches. We're specifically zoning in on mega churches.
Yes.
So that is the topic today. It's not just regular churches, Christians and Catholics and stuff like that. It's specifically mega churches.
Right. I did want to present something real quick. It's real quick. Let me just put it up here.
The more you say real quick, the slower it actually becomes.
I know, right? It's like the exact opposite.
Yeah. Is it the volume supposed to be up? Look at this guy with McDonald's Wi-Fi over there.
Not me.
Nah, he's definitely frozen. I don't know what he's doing over there, yo. And he's gone.
What are you talking about?
Bro, your wife.
Am I gone?
You are literally frozen.
Oh, you what? I didn't even notice I'm frozen.
Wait, I'm frozen?
Yeah, you were frozen.
Yeah, and the video had no audio.
The video has no audio?
No. You didn't have any whatever. It has no audio, yes.
The video didn't have audio.
And you were frozen.
Yeah, you were frozen. But
damn.
You should be good now. So figure it out.
Okay. All right. Technical difficulties. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything important. All he said was hallelujah. So just to let y'all know. And I'm not really concentrating on what he's saying in particular. Right? You guys hear it?
No.
That's
well, the thing is, I guess you can't concentrate on what he's saying because we can't hear anything.
Okay. That's I guess either way, what he's saying is not the problem for me, and I wouldn't even say that I really have a problem. Take a look at what he's wearing.
Yeah.
That's a really nice sweater. He posted this video came out 5 days ago. I just happened to Google it right now as I was watching him. He's a very popular pastor, right? And I'm like, man, that is there's no way that sweater is like $5 at TJ Maxx.
But even if it's not $5, I don't think there's anything wrong with having a sweater that's not $5. But I'll let you get. Yeah, right.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, there's I'm not saying there's nothing wrong, right? But I was like, let me Google it to see if I can find it. And I did find it. I found it right here. It's a $2,000 sweater at Neiman Market. Now, is that a problem? No. I have no problem with the pastor.
Bro, your McDonald's Wi-Fi, bro.
Am I still frozen?
Yeah, you're off and on. It's pretty bad.
Damn, I don't know. The curse, the bias curse.
It's good now.
The bias curse. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
It's good now.
But yeah, I don't have a problem with a pastor wearing a $2,000 sweater.
I do.
Right? You might have a problem with it, right?
Yeah, I do.
But when I ask you what do they sell, what do these pastors sell? I think they are selling something very specific, right?
When I was talking earlier, sorry to interrupt you. I was talking about the Catholic Church, and the fathers of the church don't have anything.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're still selling.
These private churches is a little bit different in that.
Right. But they all still sell something. They're selling you, in my opinion, this is my humble interpretation, they're selling you hope, right? That's one of the things that they're selling you. They're selling you hope because everybody goes through struggle. Everyone goes through struggle, and that goes without exception. Everyone you've ever met has had a struggle. Now, go ahead. Did you want to say something?
So that the priest on some of these priests on these in these private churches.
Yeah.
Right. They also ask for seeds. So like preacher Kenneth Copeland, he would tell his the people who go to his church, provide seeds of donation, or you can receive it back. Well, that guy owns like 5 or 6 different jets.
Yeah.
Like I mean, a plane collector now. Like, bro, really?
Yeah, I mean, so I think that a lot of these pastors, some of them are good. Some of them are, legitimately trying to help people, and then others, I see that maybe they might be taking advantage of people's willingness to, try to find a solution to their lives. Right? You see these pastors, they're wearing $2,000 sweaters, they're wearing thousands of dollars of jewelry, and people are struggling, and people send them money in the hope that maybe they can be blessed, that maybe their struggles can go away. And that's sort of like what my problem is with especially mega churches. That's really.
Do you think any pastor of a mega church should be worth $50 million?
No.
It should.
Yeah, should they be worth $50 million?
No.
Is it? Well, I can't say is it ethical because that's his. I mean, it is what it is. But do you think? Do you think morally they should be worth $50 million? Meanwhile, projecting onto the people that they preach to that they need to give more. The more they give, the more they receive. Meanwhile, the pastors are just taking, not so much giving. No giving.
Yeah. And you see, the thing is, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, you don't have a problem with Donald Trump being a billionaire. You don't have a problem with all these other guys."
He's not preaching the word.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like God, or at least Jesus, he said it'd be easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter into heaven. And there's parts of the Bible where God strips away a man's wealth, and as long as that man obeys God, he'll get that wealth back, tenfold.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Because it's not so much about having it; it's just how you obtain it to begin with. Are you willing to give it up for the ultimate sacrifice of being humble?
Yeah. When you said if a priest can be worth $50 million, it's very possible. I don't know of any of them, so I'm not saying there's one who's that was already worth that before he became a priest.
I can tell you a couple.
No, but wait. I'm saying that the example I'm saying is I don't know any of them that was worth $50 million before they became a priest.
Oh, yes.
Right.
So
yeah.
It can be I can't say, oh, you can't be worth $50 million because I don't know if you was worth that even before you became a priest.
Yeah, no. So
I personally know a pastor here in a very tiny congregation, not no fucking mega church, and he does construction work and he's a truck driver during the day.
No, yeah, that's different. Yeah, but if you obtain your money directly from the ministry of the people that you are trying to come across as, the more you give, the more you receive. Meanwhile, he's not really giving; he's just receiving everything from them. I have an issue with that.
Yeah,
and the simple fact that this guy, literally, they both, they have private jets, and things like that, and
mansions.
And then they basically, do nothing but just ask for money every single time. Ask for money, and they come up with these stupid ass sayings and these stupid ass songs and these holy this and holy that, just to actually make the people in the church feel bad, and they feel obligated to give more than what they have. You have people literally here that are suffering, that are going through real life struggles, giving up their last penny because they're told the more you give, the more you receive. And that is deception. That is the ultimate form of deception. When you know for a fact that is not even a true thing coming from them anyways. False prophets.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, how can I say this? Because the Bible has been written over thousands of years with multiple authors. So they've all implemented various methods, in my opinion, to control people and basically to tap into our primal sort of instincts to survive, like, psychologically speaking. These pastors, like I was saying, they sell false hope. In my opinion, it's false hope. I know for a lot of people it's real hope. So I don't want to offend anyone who goes to church, and they're going through something and I'm just shitting on them. But for me, it's false hope. The other thing that they also sell is a form of justice, right? Which is, I think, is just equally as disgusting. And I should articulate what I mean by this. One time I was on Facebook, I was passing by a thread or a post, and it said, something along the lines, and I'm paraphrasing, is like, don't worry about, what people do to harm you, because God will take care of it. God will, do right by you. And it's kind of like, that's horrible to think that you take pleasure in the fact that God is going to go out and and do something malicious to someone who wronged you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but let's just make sure we make this very, very clear. This has nothing to do with God, because God is one thing, and the people that falsely preach or falsely convey that they believe in God is two different things. We can't blame God for these mega churches. At the end of the day, this is human based. It's at the end of the day, it's about greed. God has nothing to do with this, period. So let's just make sure we make that very clear distinction that, you know, just because you're against mega churches doesn't mean that you're against God. They're two different things.
Right.
Let me see if I can put up a video here. Give me a second.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but the way, and I always know that they were frauds, but the way that, first of all, churches don't have to disclose how much they made. Let's just make that very, very clear. They don't have to disclose anything like that because they are forced. I mean, they're not even forced to pay taxes, right? So they don't have to disclose that information. Now, the only way that an investigation was you know, it came across regarding the mega church in Houston that this pastor Joel, I think his last name is Osteen, runs,
right?
That he's worth $50 million. The only way that came about is because they had a plumbing issue. They had a plumbing issue. And, bro, it's crazy. They had a plumbing issue, right? They call a local, you know, contractor, local plumber to come and take care of the problem. The guy said,
and they found money in his walls.
The guy said, listen, you have an issue in one of your pipes. I got to take out this, you know, these tiles and got to figure it out. My guy took out the tiles behind one of the toilets, and he just found money after, you know, money bags wrapped up like cocaine, bro.
Dude, I was joking.
Fucking Pablo Escobar style. That's Pablo Escobar style.
Yo, that's Pablo Escobar.
That's Pablo style.
Bro,
are you serious, bro?
Look it up right now. Look it up right now. Mega church hides money in bathroom or something like that. Look it up.
Dude, you know that pastor was looking up Pablo Escobar. He's like, how do I hide my money?
Now, the thing is that it's crazy how stories like this come out. People hear about it, and it's almost like, is that true? No, not really. And they still go to this church, and they still donate mad money. Do you know where your money's going? It's going literally to this guy's pocket. He has so much of it, he has to hide it behind a wall, bro. That should tell you everything.
Jose, can you see that video I sent you?
Yeah.
You want to fly commercial so that you can fly in luxury? How much money did you pay for Tyler Perry's Gulfstream jet, for example?
Well, for example, that's really none of your business, but...
Isn't it the business of your donors?
Listen, I paid. The airplane that we have that I bought from Tyler Perry, and I didn't pay anywhere. Tyler's one of the greatest guys. He made that airplane so cheap for me, I couldn't help but buy it.
Oh my God.
Again, getting back to the comment, you said that you don't like to fly commercial because you don't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
God damn, calm down, bro.
We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but principalities and powers.
Ooh.
Bro, he looks like a demon himself.
He looks evil, bro. Come on.
Well, I tell you what's scarier, Jose right now with his Wi-Fi. Look at that. Look at that.
Yo, what's going on with my Wi-Fi, bro?
Look at this guy. Look at
Wi-Fi, bro.
Can you guys still hear me though?
We can hear you, but man, okay, wait. Let's say coming back. Oh, he looking like a Minecraft character.
Jeez, this is the worst.
You guys give me shit.
Yeah, this is.
But you're on a weekly thing. This is his first time going through
it. This is my first time. You can expect it.
Yeah, that is true. We are prepared for yours. So when maybe your bandwidth is taking up his.
Yeah, maybe.
It was that earthquake, bro. He's in Rhode Island, bro. It's that earthquake.
Oh, maybe. Oh, he's back. He's back, kind of.
I'm just gonna stand still, and then when it does freeze, you won't even notice because I'm not. I'm not gonna move anymore.
That's a good way to combat it.
But yeah, I mean these mega churches, right? These pastors, they're using like again, we're not mad, or we're not sort of saying that you can't be a millionaire and a pastor. It's just that sometimes these pastors will use religion as a vehicle or a sort of means to attain millions of dollars, right? Correct. So let's say you have a pastor and he's not necessarily asking you for money, right? Let's say, because I've seen pastors where they don't ask you for money, they don't ask you for anything, but you know what they do right after the sermon, right? They sell a book, they sell a video, they sell a course, they sell some real estate courses, they get you to sign up to, to do certain things, right? And then they'll say, well, you know what, that's my own individual sort of business, right? But we all know it's like, yeah, but you're using the religion to sort of catapult and show exposure to your businesses. And let's not forget, when Jesus went to back to the temple and he saw all those businesses, all those kiosks selling, trinkets outside his church, the dude went fucking ballistic. He was like, he started breaking all of them. But these pastors, these guys, they're selling. They like to sell stuff after or before the ministry. They use the ministry as this tool to gain access to all these vulnerable people and make a quick buck off of them.
They use it.
But that's a little bit different, though.
To build their own brands,
Yeah, but it's a little bit different, though. So the mega churches pastors, they're not giving anything back, and they want to receive. At least these people may give you a real estate class or a book. That's something that may help you. At least it's something versus not getting shit from the mega churches.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you're taking money from the mega church. You're also selling your book. So yeah, so to your point, you're literally not giving anything. You're selling everything and getting everything. You're not giving away anything. And I've come across certain articles and videos where the pastors basically give shit to the people at the church that don't donate enough. And when they put a minimum amount on your donation, bro, I'm sorry, that's not a donation. Now you're kind of forced to just give out, a specific amount of money. Because they're saying, they're basically saying, hey, if you don't give a minimum of $20, Jesus is looking at you and he doesn't like you. He doesn't like you.
You have to feed the seed. You have to plant the seed. That's the word, the seed. You have to plant the seed.
Oh, I understand, but let's just think for a second. Let's just say mega churches are somewhat decent. And they say, you know what? Donate whatever you can. If you could do $1, great. If you can do $2, great. And if you can do 20, great. But when they tell you that you have to have a minimum amount for you to donate, and if you don't donate, God is looking, he's looking at you for that. That God don't like that. When they use the word in order to portray their greed, that is immoral. And for that shit, that's the shit I don't like. You're basically being a false prophet and a thief all in the open eye.
Yeah, there was another pastor. This guy, I forgot his name. What was this guy's name? His congregation, there was a storm, right? And they're asking him, hey, why you don't let the people who don't have a house right now because of the storm go to your congregation? And he's like, oh, because it's flooded. And he put up a whole bunch of fake videos of the congregation being flooded until somebody came out and said, it's not flooded. Look at the proof here.
Yeah, well, the thing is, that was also in Houston. No. I'm sorry. That was in Texas, I think. That was in Texas.
In Texas, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Texas, same thing.
Yeah. Well, I think Houston is his own thing.
They
have multiple churches.
Yeah, so, dude, come on.
But I mean, okay, let's say in defense of the mega churches, do you think that the hope that these people receive, right, this sort of placebo effect on the mind that they get from going to these ministries, from listening to the pastor, do you think it is worth the money that they contribute to the church? Just similar to like a psychiatrist or psychologist, where you're giving him money and he's telling you what you want to hear, or he's sort of like.
I say no, and I'll tell you why. Right? Even though the message itself, if you take it for what it is, it might be good. Let's just say that it is good.
Yeah.
Right? But the Bible also teaches, you have to basically live your life a certain way, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if you're taking, I'm trying to articulate properly, right? I'm trying to make sure that this comes out correctly.
Words mean things.
Words mean a lot of things. Hold on, words mean a lot of things. So, if you're so you follow Jesus as opposed to following Muhammad for different reasons, right? One of the reasons is if you really want to follow Jesus, you take his life work. You follow him because you like the way that he lived his life. He was a prime example of what it is to be somewhat perfect or what it is to be an ideal figure in this world, right? So when you're taking advice, especially holy advice, from a person that is completely doing the opposite of what's in the Bible and being humble and is anti-greed, when you're taking advice from a person that's preaching the word that does not live life like it's stated in the Bible, that right there on its own is a sin, for the simple fact that they are leading you to the wrong place. You can hear the message from an individual that will take you to heaven, or you can hear the same message from a different individual that's living the complete opposite of what is supposed to be like in the Bible, of this perfect figure. It's actually leading you in the wrong place, right? So when you have a massive crowd and you're spreading the wrong message, yeah, you may have a massive crowd, but you're leading that entire crowd to the wrong direction. So in the long term, it is not a good thing, because you're listening to false information. You're listening to a life of sin. You're listening to a life that is not the way Jesus intended it to be. So no, do you think it's worth it? I don't think it is. I think if anything, you're donating your money to a person and a place that's giving you the wrong message and showing you the incorrect lifestyle. The lifestyle that completely goes against what's in the Bible. That is my point of view.
So on the mega churches, right? On the
mega churches. On the mega churches. That's specifically mega churches. That's going against everything that is in the Bible. So why would you take a message from a person that's preaching that?
But isn't the Catholic Church technically a mega church?
Yeah, I'm not a believer in the Catholic Church, not even one bit.
If
I was going to pick a church, obviously I would go with a Christian church. But like I said, we're sticking to mega churches specifically, not Christian, Catholics, nothing like that. We're talking about mega churches specifically. I don't think a mega church should be a thing. And when you have the mega church being the nicest building in the entire city and they're not even paying taxes, that tells you everything you need to know right there. You have these architectural masterpieces and they don't have to pay a single thing in taxes and they can just exploit religion for what it is. Then, I don't agree with that.
Look. Well,
it's a lot to unpack.
If I have no problem with the church being the nicest building on the block.
Neither do I, but it's how they got that.
Even collectively, if the congregation agreed, I would like to go to a house of worship that is very pleasant, that when I go in, it gives me a lot of joy. I think spending money in the location is fine, especially if it's accessible to the congregation. I think that is fine, because you take a look at the Catholic churches and stuff like that. Even though they're very extravagant, or the architecture is very beautiful, it was for the people, right? It's a symbolic gesture that this is our Lord and Savior. We're putting all this effort to show that we respect him. There's that. It's the personal usage of the funds that really is what I see is a problem. I don't have a problem with the church looking nice. I do have a problem if the pastor is rolling in a Rolls Royce, though. Yeah. That's my problem. He better be walking to the church just like the rest of us.
Or not even walking, but at least be humble to some degree. It's like you're about to go preach. Give me some money. Meanwhile, you're rolling in a fucking house.
There's one pastor that was being criticized, like, you guys can't criticize me. I have 25 bathrooms in my house and all this shit. Like, really, do you really have to say that?
Yeah, you have pastors basically. You have pastors flaunting that they're rich.
Yeah,
like
donation money.
You got these pastors out here speaking like Grant Cardone and Tony Robbins, bro.
Yeah,
like, come on, that right there is a false, it's a false information, and it's just I don't know. It doesn't make much sense.
And like I said, a lot of these pastors are selling other things on the side. They're selling these network marketing, all types of stuff. They're oh my God, they're just raking it in. They're taking so much advantage.
And the problem,
you gotta double your seed, bro. Double the seed.
Yeah,
double donation.
And you know the problem. This is the issue that I find for people that are that truly believe in the Bible and truly know the word. They know one thing is true: all sins are equal. Not when it comes to circumstances, but when it comes to getting up to where you need to go on Judgment Day, all sins are equal. So the fact that you have these mega churches and these pastors committing a sin, they may not be out there killing anybody, but greed itself is a sin. Flexing itself is another sin, right? So when you have these sins and they're preaching the word, they're leading people to the wrong direction when it comes to the actual word. So
I mean, it's a tough one, right? Because I know a lot of people that goes to these like super mega churchy type places where the pastor is wearing Louis Vuitton. He's wearing like from head to toe lavish designer clothing. His wife is wearing lavish Louis Vuitton, everything lavish.
Wait, are you hating, bro?
No, I'm not hate. I'm not hating on the hustle. I respect it from a point of view where it's like, okay, you saw an opportunity to make money, but goddamn, are you? It's like it's messed up. It's like selling crack to kids.
That's basically what it is. Yeah.
I'm fine with you selling crack to adult men, but you're selling crack to kids. I don't know. You're taking advantage. That's the problem. I don't know, man. You're taking advantage.
What do you say? All right, and I'm a segue. A lot of businesses
always
I always do that. A lot of businesses do that. The pharmaceutical company, the guy, the company that had the pen on the EpiPen,
never fails.
The guy raised the pen to 300%.
never fails. Yeah, I get it.
Well, I don't get it. No, I'm lost. I am lost.
What Carlos is trying to say is there was a gentleman that came out with a medicine, right? I don't know if that was an
EpiPen,
whatever
Save lives.
It was like $6, right? And he obviously got the patent for it, and he inflated the price to $700 a pen from $6.
Yeah.
So that is whatever.
But that's okay. That's okay though.
That's okay because that
because he's not trying to say I'm a good guy. I'm like, yo, I know people want this, and I'm gonna make my money. I don't give a shit if he saves people.
I don't think it was morally correct. He has a right to do that. That's a business. He's not preaching the word.
Well, the pastor can easily say, "Hey, bro, this is my business."
But that's
not moral.
And that right there,
bro. We can literally
that right there is a sin. You are using God's name to catapult your own character and your own.
We can literally right now open up the Church of Man Caves, write a whole bunch of shit off. And receive donations and buy property tax free.
Yes. Yeah, but
there's nothing to stop us from creating the Church of Man Caves.
Yeah, but you gotta. So you're missing the.
But are we willing to stoop that low?
No, but the law should be more stringent.
Why?
But you're going to do that.
But you're comparing the law to the word. They are two different things, Carlos.
I agree, they're two different things. But for example, you said the mega churches cannot be audited. You can't find out where the finance is going. I believe if you're being tax free, your finance has to be fucking open. If you're not paying tax, we're not gonna pay your tax, but your finance has to be public.
I agree.
I agree, but I guess what we're trying to say is that we can't compare the pharmaceutical guy with the church guy because they're preaching two different things. One of them is preaching capitalism and a business owner. Another one is preaching the word. And when they're using the word to get all those gains, that right there is immoral and it's not correct.
Yeah,
that's the big difference. You know what I mean? You have capitalism and then you have religion. Capitalism sometimes is the best thing. Sometimes it's the worst. I'm sorry. You're going to get the both end of the stick sometimes. You're going to pay from $6 to $700. Guess what? You need that pill, you're going to pay it. But when it comes to the word, you got people really believing that, you're a prophet or whatever the case is, that you're preaching the word and then you're doing things that the way they're not supposed to be done. Meanwhile, you got real people, real problems, really suffering and really going broke over what they think they're doing is good, giving you money. Because they didn't get money in return.
So Carlos, these pastors are not these pastors are not putting a gun to anyone's head. They're not forcing anyone. Wait, let me finish. They're not forcing anyone to do anything. Correct. So in terms of accountability, how much accountability do you put on the people
100%.
that You put 100, not 100 though.
I put no. I put 100% because it's one thing to be deceived in the beginning. It's another thing to realize you're being deceived and continue to donate.
But what if they don't realize they're
How do you
being
not
deceived?
realize when you have money literally behind walls, bro? When you have money behind walls, how do you not realize you're being deceived?
Okay, let's play this, Carlos. I'll put a perspective for you. Let's say you're you have a terminal illness and the doctor said, bro, I can't do anything, you're dying in 6 months.
Yeah.
And a pastor comes out and says, I can heal you. Yeah. And you've already tried the scientific method and you have not found no solution on that side. And you say, you know what, bro? I'll try whatever because I want to survive.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of people who fall for that. Unfortunately,
yeah.
it's very sad.
Well, I mean, at that,
and I agree, but you just mentioned one thing. That interaction with the pastor was the very first time. What I said was, if you're getting deceived for the very first time, it happens. People get deceived all the time. But when you choose to ignore what's right in front of you and you continue to donate, no, I'm sorry, you are an idiot. At that point, it's on you.
Well, that's the thing. Some people, let's say you are told that you got 6 months to live. You tried all the medicines available at the time, right? And you can't find anything.
Yeah.
You have a surplus of money, and you're like, fuck it. Let me try this. Now, they, even though in our eyes, it's like, why would you do that? God is not going to ask you for a dime to save your life. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Like, but this pastor, he's pretending like if he touches you, he's going to magically cure you, right? Yeah. Like, are you a victim, or are you just contributing to this sort of narrative? Like, can you really blame the pastor at that point? Can you really be like, oh, he's taking advantage? Is he really though?
I blame them both. I blame the pastor for giving false information, and I blame the person that's donating for being stupid and not going through the actual Bible themselves. Because if they really believe in God, then they should be reading the Word. They shouldn't just believe in what somebody else is telling them to believe. They shouldn't believe in what. Hey, listen, this is in that book, or is it? Or should I read it for myself? You know what I mean?
But the book is someone telling you what to believe.
Yeah, but the thing is that when you go, listen, I've been to some of these churches, right? I've been to some of these churches where all they do is sing. Again, I don't. Let me be nice about it.
You like to sing, Carlos?
You like the songs? I'm okay with singing at churches. I'm perfectly fine with singing at churches. But when you go to church and it's all singing, and out of the 1 hour that you're there, they'll read one verse and then they just focus on the singing, and then you have this lady coming around to donate. I'm sorry. That right there should be a red flag. They're not reading the word to you. They are pretending to, just so you can donate the money.
But some of the churches that they're singing, they're actually singing songs based off the words.
No, trust me,
people
bro.
Actually,
no.
Let me
I'm telling you from the ones that I've been to, man.
I'll prefer to go to a singing church that may be singing about the word than the Catholic church when they make you do legs all day long. It's pretty much it's like doing a leg workout, bro. You stand up, then kneeling, stand up, then kneeling, sitting down, stand up.
Yeah, but that, bro, what the fuck?
Like, bro, really?
I mean, there's like, okay, maybe you might have a disagreement on how people worship the God that they believe in.
Correct.
I don't think that, if they're singing and it's, and they're singing because they're worshiping God, it's kind of like, it's almost the same as praying. It's almost the same as any other.
But when you,
I don't see it as a red flag.
When you attach money to it, when you specifically said that you are looking at this pastor because you believe he can heal you, that's inaccurate. Because if you read the word, you know not to worship anybody but Jesus and God Himself. So why do you think this pastor out of nowhere is gonna perform a miracle on you?
Carlos, a lot of people,
because they believe it,
that's the problem.
They believe it, and then there's this issue, Carlos. A lot of people have extremist mentality. So, have you ever heard of Christian? Have you ever heard of Christian Scientists?
I heard something like that. I don't know exactly. I haven't.
Christian Scientists is a religion where they don't believe in medical doctors. They don't believe in modern science when it comes to medicine. So
Christian Scientists.
Christian Scientists. So if they have a kid that has cancer, the kid will not get treatment.
Oh yeah. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah. Yep.
Don't Jehovah's do that too?
Probably, but Jehovah's Witnesses are not Christians.
But I mean, that could go.
Yes, they are. Whoa! What are you talking about? Yes, they are.
They don't believe in Jesus, bro.
Wait, what?
Jehovah's Witnesses don't believe in Jesus.
So what do they believe in?
What are you smoking right now, bro?
I'm not smoking anything. Look, they believe in God, the direct God. They don't believe in Jesus.
Wait, what? Bro, I think you need to go to any church at this point. I don't even care if it's a mega church, bro. Just go. Are you serious? What are you talking about? They believe in something red. What are you referring to? Jose's frozen. See, he can even give his commentary on this.
Jose's white.
I just had to quickly verify because my mom's a Jehovah's Witness, so I'm just like, does Baez know something that I don't?
I mislabeled it, but this is what they believe in. And
wait.
Jehovah, wait.
Don't let me say like nothing happened. At least address it properly.
I said it wrong. I'm sorry, but this is what they believe. Jehovah's Witnesses identify as Christians, but they don't believe in the Holy Trinity.
Yeah, but
and that's not a requirement to be a Christian.
Yeah, you can still believe in God and not the Holy
Christian
Trinity.
Bible. The Holy Trinity is in the Christian Bible.
I understand that, but some people
they only see God. They see Jesus as the Son of God.
Some people only believe in God, and some people believe in God and the Holy Trinity. So you don't have to believe in both in order to be a Christian.
Isn't the Holy Trinity in the Bible?
No, it's not explicitly.
What you have is you have the elements of the Holy Trinity, but the word Holy Trinity is not in the Bible.
Yeah. Oh, good job, Bello. This guy knows.
Listen,
this guy's reading up on his Jesus.
I'm doing my
He's
homework.
doing his homework.
Again, it doesn't mean that God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit are not the Holy Trinity. It just means that the elements of it are there, but the actual words Holy Trinity are not in the Bible.
Yeah, but they say it.
Mic drop.
Damn. Bias is like,
this is what they literally say. Jesus is the Son of God, but not part of the Holy Trinity.
Who said that?
Part of the Holy Trinity, Jehovah's Witnesses.
Well, exactly, but that's inaccurate because they can't even verify that.
But that's what I'm just saying. Yeah. What the difference?
No.
They still identify as Christians, supposedly, but they don't believe in the Holy Trinity.
Correct, but just because you don't believe in the Holy Trinity does not believe you don't believe in God.
For example, we had in our long meeting we had last time about the Quran, where the Quran said they seen Jesus as the messenger, same thing as the Jews. Yeah, they seen Jesus not as the Messiah. They seen Jesus as just another preacher.
No, but what I'm trying to say is, and I don't know if I'm saying it correct.
Are you trying to say Jesus is one of these pastors? Is that what you're trying to say, bro?
I don't know what he's trying to say.
Jesus was a preacher for the Jewish religion. He was a preacher.
For a megachurch. Is that what you're saying?
No, he wasn't a megachurch, bro.
Okay.
Sorry. No, he wasn't a megachurch.
I just want to make sure we're still talking about megachurches.
Was it? Wait, this conversation is about religion, bro. Megachurch was just a subject in it.
I'm just making sure. Yeah, like I said in our conversation, I need to rope it in back in. We need to contain it. I know this shit be branching out like crazy, but we need to.
You're lucky we're not talking about. We're not talking about fucking.
See, this is the thing, right? So in the Quran, I mean, they don't believe Jesus was God, right? But if you look at the Bible, there's a verse in there that could potentially say otherwise. If you look at John 8:58, he basically says, I am. Now, you can interpret that in whatever way you want to take it. But again, just because the word Holy Trinity is not in the Bible doesn't mean that he wasn't the Holy Trinity.
No,
God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit.
I'm just saying what Jehovah's Witnesses said. One of the weird Christians are them. Sorry, Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, out of all the Christians, they're the one that lean that they can almost be their own kind of religion on their own.
Yeah, they are what you call the most suspect. Is that what you want to say?
They're most moral. Out of all the Christian religions, they're probably the most moral one of all of them.
Wait. Out of what? Wait, what? Out of who?
Out of all the Christian religions, the Jehovah's Witnesses is probably one of the most strictest one you can have. They can't drink.
Yeah.
Okay. Being strict is not the same as being moral.
Yeah.
You don't corrupt the Catholic churches, bro.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're strict, though. You being straight doesn't mean that you're corrupt, bro.
I can go to the Catholic church like this.
You can be a very strict,
but
you can be a very strict tyrant.
But I don't know if he understands what the meanings of these words mean, because being
I do know what the meaning of the words mean.
Right?
Moral meaning. Okay, if you want to go by the 10 Commandments, right? So don't covet thy neighbor's wife and all that shit. You have a lot of Catholic people who break all those commandments all the time.
Well,
okay. Okay. So morals, right? Just for the sake of people understanding where I'm coming from, I'm an atheist agnostic. So my interpretation of what morals is going to differ, right? Morals, from my point of view, strictly is in regards to the well-being of other humans, right? So you want, even on a scientific, you're sort of an atheist mindset, you still want to have morals, because you want to treat other humans just as good, because you don't want them to come back. That golden ratio sort of mentality. So morals is strictly talking about the well-being of other humans. It has nothing to do with a deity. It has nothing to do with God. It's just how you treat other humans. Correct. And the 10 Commandments, the first 5 of the 10 Commandments, has nothing to do with how you treat other humans. It's really about God. It's like God is, in my opinion, he's almost narcissistic. He's like, don't worship other people. Don't take my name in vain. It's really just about him. The first 5 commandments is really just about him. And then the last 5, depending, because there's actually what happens in the story when Moses gets the tablets, right? They actually break, so they have to make a new set of 10 commandments, which actually differs from the original 10 commandments. That's going to be an interesting story when you read it, Carlos.
Wait. Because Carlos said that the Bible is a history book. It's history, right? Because Britain history, that it can't be modern. It's a history, right? It's a historical book.
It's a historical document, yes.
Okay. Yeah. And you said it's hard to how you say it, to fix it up. What's that word? To
verify?
What?
No, not to verify. To actually say this is legitimate. Yeah, to verify legitimate, that nobody actually twisted the words a bit.
Whoa, yo! Out of everybody here, I think you're the one twisting everything right now. I never said anybody didn't twist anything. What are you talking about? All I said was, and we're going on 2 weeks with this, 2 weeks straight, and I've repeated myself multiple times. I said the Bible is a historical document that was documented by people that were either there, heard, saw, whatever the case was. Now you got to
made up.
You got to read it. You can't read the Bible as a scientific document. You got to read it as a historical document. Now, in that historical document, based on all the pages and all the books and all the different phrases that you read, based on whatever you read, you got to do your own investigation of how you perceive it to be true or to be false. That's all I said.
There you
go. Never said that it can be modified. I never said that's 100% facts. I just said that based on a historical document, you have to have process of elimination and standards to meet your historical document research. Do you think what they're saying is legit and based on what? That's what I said. Because nothing's 100% facts. It is what it is. Nothing's absolute. There is no absolute.
It's incredibly difficult to verify any historical document. It is okay. Take example, Alexander the Great. You guys know about Alexander the Great? Do you guys believe he existed?
I haven't.
Do you guys believe he man ever?
Yeah. Do you guys believe he existed?
I haven't looked that much into it.
I think he did.
I haven't looked to have an opinion.
I'm gonna be straight with you. I think he did.
Yeah.
Based off the History Channel, pretty much. I'm not gonna say I mean,
it. Yeah, his like the earliest known documentation of his existence came 500 years after he even conquered the world, and that's just as a metric is like you got people closer to Jesus in terms of his historicity.
Exactly, and when you're looking at all these, when you're looking at Zeus and all these gods and all these Greek mythologies and all that stuff, right? They have manuscripts not even close to the amount of the Bible, right? You're talking about 6 6,000 plus manuscripts. When you talk about these gods, you're talking about 6 manuscripts, talking about 10 manuscripts, talking about 100 at the top. They don't have thousands.
No, Carlos. Greek mythology, bro.
Do you really want to challenge me on this, Carlos? Because I already trust me. Because I already did my homework. If you really want to challenge me, we can go into that debate.
Greek mythology is an extremely
no.
old
Let me be very specific. I'm not talking about Greek mythology as a whole. I'm talking about gods specifically. People
That's
specifically.
part of the Greek mythology.
No, because when you're talking about Jesus, you talk about one person. When you have 6,000,
the problem is,
hold on. When you have 6,000 plus manuscripts of one individual versus 6 of any god that's from back in those days.
Carlos, you have to remember, the Catholic religion is based off the Jewish religion. Greek mythology, because the way they see gods is the way they back then they interpret it. So if they see like the ocean caused flood and they blame it on Poseidon, they see the lightning storm, they blame it on Zeus.
You're confusing Greek mythology with a specific individual. You're missing what I'm saying.
Greek mythology.
You have the right idea, but you're not getting the right argument across. You have the right idea, but you're not getting the right argument across. What I'm specifically speaking about is a manuscript based on Jesus. Jesus himself, over 6,000 manuscripts, versus all these other gods that have maybe 6, 10, 12 at most manuscripts that they found. So what I'm saying is, if you're going to believe in something, when you believe something that has over 6,000 hidden manuscripts that they found, or I'm sorry, not hidden, lost, or 6 or 7 of an ancient Greek god. That's what I'm getting at. I'm saying,
that's so. Do we have any original biblical manuscripts? We don't, right? We don't have any of the original manuscripts.
The sea scrolls are those just older documents, what they're called.
The Dead Sea Scrolls, the Dead Sea. Yeah, they're not. They're not. They're not. But the thing about the Bible and any religion is its originality, right?
Wait.
So what?
Carlos said about the Greek. There's 900 physical Greek manuscripts in the British Library, and they have 15,746 digitized because they're probably in stones.
Yeah, there's actually a significant amount.
But again, you're confusing the Greek mythology with a specific god.
The problem is Greek mythology is polytheistic gods. You have multiple gods.
I understand that, but when you have what I'm saying, I don't know how else to rephrase this. It's almost like, they have 5,000 manuscripts of science versus, they have 3 manuscripts of this particular atom that's also in science. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you can't compare, because back then they seen everything as multiple gods. The Jews were the one that went with the one God.
All I'm saying is,
I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is, part of my research is how much documentation do we have on this individual or what I'm reading right now. I'm not saying that has to be part of your criteria. I'm just saying that's part of my criteria. But you asked how to identify when you're reading a historical document. That's one of the criteria that I identify and I
understand.
Look for.
Can I push back a little bit? Can I push back?
But we have to take it back to the megachurch though.
Yeah, let me just push back.
Finish the Greek mythology.
Okay. I understand what Carlos is saying. He's saying bias. I mean Bello, right? Bello, you're saying that there's like 25,000 manuscripts that all talk about Jesus, right?
Just 6,000.
Let's say 6,000, 25,000.
Yeah.
They're all just copies of one another. It's not unique manuscripts. I hope you don't think that each individual manuscript is a unique description of Jesus. They're all wait a minute. Wait. They're all repeats. It's just like going to a library and finding.
I get what you're saying, but how?
Yeah. So there's just because. Yeah. So just wait. Let me finish the fucking thought, my guy. Let me just fucking finish. God damn.
Go ahead.
I get what you're saying. There's 6,000. There's 6,000 manuscripts of just this one guy. No, they just happened to discover 6,000 copies of basically, let's just call it the Bible, the manuscripts. They found 6,000 copies that survived.
Yes, I got
right. That survived. Just because you couldn't find more copies of Zeus, that doesn't. There's no significance there. There's, like Bias is saying, there's 600 copies that survived.
Okay,
just because more copies survived about the particular God that you believe in doesn't make it any more true.
No. I'm not. No. See, this is the issue I have. I never said it makes it more true. I said that's one of the things I look for, and I can't say, oh, maybe there's.
Why would that be significant though?
Hold on.
Why would that be significant?
I can't say, oh, maybe there's more copies that they haven't found of the Greek mythology. I can't speak on shit that hasn't even been out there. I'm speaking on whatever they have found. Now, if you're saying that there's 6,000 and these are duplicates or replications or add-ons or whatever the hell you want to call them, out of those 6,000, because you're the one that made that claim that they're duplicates or whatever the case is, how many are unique?
What do you mean? How many are unique?
Exactly what I said.
Unique in what way? Like the stories differ, or the stories are the same, but they're copied by different people.
What was the actual word that you used when you mentioned the 6,000 manuscripts?
So a manuscript is a handwritten document, right? So these manuscripts are basically people who read a book, right?
What was the actual word that you said? Was it copies?
Yeah, the copies. Let's say copies. Yeah.
Okay, so let's just say that they are copies, right? How many? Wait, how many of them are actual copies, and how many of them are original?
What do you mean original? What's an original?
Original is like, okay, well, you have copies.
That the interpretation is completely different.
Oh! Do we have any originals of the Bible? No, we don't have any originals.
Carlos saying on the manuscripts, if the interpretation is different, if it's different writings.
What I'm saying is, I'm trying to dissect what he said. He said out of the 6,000, the majority of them are, copies. Okay, cool.
No, they're all copies, not the majority. All of them, literally, all of them.
All of them.
All of them. They're all copies.
But the different versions. Is that what you're saying?
No. They're all copies. It's like I have a book. Let's say I have Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Right. I wrote Harry Potter, and then you look at it and you're like, oh, I want a copy of that book. Let me write it down. Mm-hmm. Now you have a copy of the book. Those are two manuscripts.
But that's a copy of the same book.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what a manuscript is. That's a manuscript.
But they found over 6,000. Not every 6,000 is the same.
Yeah, all of them are. All of them.
Okay, how old is those manuscripts for the Christian religion? Probably 1,500 to 2,000 years, because 2,020 years ago. They date back. Okay. Yeah. Greek mythology has 16,000 manuscripts, and that religion goes from 1,100 BCE to 3,000 BCE.
Yeah, but again, you're focusing on the entire thing as opposed to one person or one God.
It doesn't matter. You're talking about 3,000 years before the Christian faith.
You're missing the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, but I think Bello, I think you think that. Yeah, Bello, I think you think that but Bello, you think that all these individual manuscripts are all different stories about God, when in reality they're just all copies. A manuscript is just a handwritten document.
Yeah, but they're all referring to one God.
Yeah, because they're copies. Of course, they're referring to the one God. They're all copies.
But that's fine. Okay, but that's fine. That's besides the point, though. That's just one of the things that I look for. How much documentation, even if there is copies by different people, how much documentation is there out there for
the Hindus? The Hindus also believe in multiple gods.
Well, yeah, they have a million.
In their modern religion, I'm just saying, just because your religion, the religion that you choose, the Christian faith, has a mono god, a monotheistic God, doesn't necessarily cut out the other religions that have multiple gods.
It does to me. So what do you mean? What are you talking about?
Yes, but you're saying
but I'm specifically, but Carlos, from day one, I never said it was 100% fact. I never said it was true. I said what I look for in a historical document is treated differently than what I look for in a scientific document. That's all I said.
I'm talking about another religion. These are not scientific documents.
No, they're not. They're historical documents, bro.
I'm saying Hindus also have multiple gods. Greek mythology, which is now mythology, you keep saying, but then when did it talk about one God? Greek mythology never had one God. It's a polytheistic religion. They have always had multiple gods.
I don't even understand that I don't think you understood what I was trying to say. I never said other religions don't have multiple gods. I never said that.
You kept saying that, no, but that religion has multiple gods. There's no one manuscript talking about just one guy.
No. What I kept saying was that the manuscript in that particular you know, in that Greek mythology has multiple gods. So these books,
that's the religion is based off multiple gods. Same thing if I look at the Hindu, which I've never read, the Hindus Bible, whatever they call it.
Right. I don't think
most likely going to talk about a lot of gods.
Okay, I don't think
I think
the right way. I'm not gonna
the horse. Yeah, you guys are arguing two different things.
I know that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's understanding what I'm saying.
Nah, I know what Bias is saying. Bias, I understand what you're saying. Okay, so the Greek religion, right, has multiple deities, and of course the manuscripts are all going to be a compilation of all these deities all together. Now, some manuscripts will specifically just target about one deity. Other manuscripts will talk about other deities. And then in Carlos's, what he's saying is that, well, I'm just talking about, like, okay, if you just talk about Zeus alone, how many manuscripts alone refer back to Zeus?
Correct.
So out of the 600, maybe only 300 of those manuscripts are talking about Zeus. And because the Greek mythology is so diverse, you can have duplicates, but you can also have hundreds of different stories about all these different types of gods.
Correct.
Whereas in the Christian, when we're talking about Jesus, all these 6,000 manuscripts, again, is because they didn't have ways to copy documents, right? Like how we do, right? A printer press or anything. They had to read the book, and then they had to copy word for word, so they can have a manuscript here and then a manuscript here. But all 6,000 manuscripts are just word for word the same story referring back to Jesus. It's not 6,000 individual stories that all differ.
I'm not saying
they're all
stories. I'm
so
6,000 translation by 6,000 people, whatever the case was. Till that, it has more than any other religion or any other god to date. I'm not saying that's the all be on end all. I never said that.
Yeah, which is fair. Okay, yeah, you're saying
religion, bro.
What? I think
there's 16,000 for the Greek religion, bro.
But
I think again we just talked about it.
I'm just saying.
No, you're not just saying.
It's not eggs to eggs. If you're talking about manuscript based off religion, let's go based off religion. The Christian religion has 6,000 based off that religion versus the Greek religion has 16,000.
But did you understand what Jose just spent 5 minutes discussing?
I understand, but I'm going based off religion itself, not based off how many
manuscripts. Okay, you're talking about as a whole. Okay, you're talking about as a whole.
You cannot, for example, I'm not gonna the Hindu religion. They're not gonna have their Bible just talk about one God when they have multiple gods.
Well, the thing is about Hindu religion has over, I think, is 2 million gods.
7,000.
No, 2 million gods. So do you really want to? So do you really want to discuss that? Because they have a god for everything. They have a god for intelligence. They have a god for hunger. They have a god for activities. They have everything has a god.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say.
So if you really want to go there,
about it. But
by the way, I'm sorry. Whoever's listening to this, that is the stupidest shit. By the way, I'm just saying this out loud.
Don't disrespect other people's beliefs, bro.
Listen, I'm not. It's not beliefs. You know what?
It is a belief. It's a belief.
God. This is my God for communication. Is that how they treat it? Is that how it is?
Some people, but you know what? Catholics, Christians similarly do the same thing.
How many saints are in the Christian religion?
There's a lot of saints in the Catholic.
How many angels?
Christian.
Wait, I think my camera give me 1 second.
How many archangels are in the Christian religion, bro?
Yeah, so we can't pretend like Christians don't do the same thing, or at least some Christians, some Catholics do have their sort of
God of everything.
God of everything, but they have it as there's angels for everything, there's demons for everything, there's saints for everything. So let's not pretend like Catholics. Yeah, but I understand bias. Your argument is that we shouldn't just isolate Jesus. As a whole, there's just as many there's just as many manuscripts, but I think we're getting lost in the sauce and putting value on the word manuscript when it's just like, dude, it's just copies of a book. Just because
of a book.
Yeah, there's 6,000 copies, which is fine. 6,000 copies made it through 2,000 years worth of time, right? 2,000 years.
That there's 16,000 copies of the Greek one that went through 5,000 years.
I'm back. My apologies.
Yeah. So I think that let's say there was only one manuscript, two manuscripts that talked about Jesus. I don't think, even though there was only two manuscripts, that number would even mean anything.
No. But you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. You guys are thinking that I'm specifically putting that you guys should do it the same way. I said that's how I look at it, and that's one of my criteria on how I determine.
Yeah, and then we're just questioning you. We're just questioning: is it valid? Is it valid? Is it valid?
It's valid to me. I don't care what it's about to you guys.
No, we know you don't care that it's valid. We're just questioning: is it valid? Maybe you should think about it.
All I'm saying is, based off your criteria,
yeah,
you're better off believing the Greek mythology, which has 16,000 manuscripts that survived 5,000 years.
And again, we're going back to the same thing that you apparently don't understand what I'm talking about. One specific God versus an entire religion. You're not making that distinction. But the problem is,
the Christian religion isn't the entire religion just because it has one God. It's still
anyway.
Religion.
Listen, we're getting lost in the sauce. That's how I identify a biblical, document or whatever.
That is fine. And I think what, you're still, to be honest, we can't expect someone who just started reading the Bible to have the most refined ways of interpreting the Bible. Or I'm not going to hold it against you.
Yeah.
So, it's going to take, it takes time.
But I also can't expect people that haven't read the entire Bible critiquing anything about the Bible. And I'm not specifically talking about you, because I don't know if you read the Bible or not complete from end to end. And even if you did read it back then, it was probably a different interpretation. You could probably read it now and get something else out of it. But what I'm saying is,
Jose read the whole thing. I can tell.
But have you?
No, not me.
So it's almost like I have more of an argument with you, a person that hasn't even read it, than the person that has read it.
There's a major difference, right? Because who said I probably didn't read the book physically, but I've probably heard more of the Bible stories than you have. Because I've actually gone to Catholic church. I actually went to a Catholic school when I was a kid.
Yeah. So
do you know the story?
And I did my first communion.
Do you know the story of
the Bible directly?
But even if that was true, you had all people.
Not true. I went to the Blessed Sacrament.
No, hold on, but you're jumping the gun here. Even if that was true, right? I'm going to say something that, for the most part, a lot of people say when they have no idea. And it's basically saying, let me rephrase. I'm not saying that they have no idea. This is just one of the arguments that's kind of weak to me, right? Where I used to say it myself. And one of the argument was, you know what? Everybody could interpret the Bible a different way. Right. Mm-hmm. So if that is the case, and you agree with that, right, Carlos? So if that is the case, then why are you taking these stories that you heard from someone else's point of view instead of reading it for yourself
and making your interpretation?
Exactly.
Because it would just be just as valid as anybody else's.
But it's not because it can mean something completely different to you. So just because,
but in terms of value, your interpretation would be just as significant as anyone else's.
Not necessarily, because me and you can read the same verse and have different opinions on it. It could hit me harder when I read it than hit me harder when I listen to it.
How many times have you gone to church?
Who, me?
To an actual physical church, to a Catholic church.
A lot of. I'm actually like a lot of times. I did my first communion and everything. I did school, bro.
I don't think you need to go to church.
No. But he wants to make this argument.
He's trying to make this argument. He's trying to make this argument.
He wants to make this argument. So let's not do this argument. How many?
He's trying to make this argument.
How many times have I been to church? If I can recall, I think I've been to church maybe 20, 25 times. If I can remember, and I'm actually.
Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Because I, after a certain age, decided not to do it anymore. I thought it was a waste of time.
I went to church, right? When I was an atheist. I went to church for 3 years as an atheist with your pastor. Every weekend as an atheist.
But what is your point?
My point is, don't say just because I didn't go and directly read the Bible, because I have issues with some of the Bible stories that have contradictory lines, and I couldn't stand reading more of it. Don't take away that, I didn't read it. Oh, I don't know.
But you did it.
No, that I don't know from it. Just because I didn't read directly doesn't mean that I didn't see a whole bunch of historical history channel about the Bible.
But you're the one that says,
read the Bible while I was in church.
But you're the one that says all the time, I don't know this. I don't know that from the Bible. So I don't understand what your point is.
Jose gave you one of the early stories of the Bible.
No. I'm going based on what Jose said. If you cannot verify yourself, bro, you ever listen. If you're gonna have an argument, right? I get it. Sometimes you need to, get quotations, get citations from someone else. I understand. But if you're really passionate about something, you really have to back up what you say with your own research.
Yeah, if you're like you said it, passionate.
But again, if you're not passionate, then how come me and you are always the one going at it?
So, I just like to get on your nerves, but
no, it's not getting about nerves at all. Actually, it's not getting. If anything, it's actually amplifying the need of me getting past this book and through this book, and it's actually amplifying the need of me, seeking more into it. Because at the end of the day, go ahead.
But what I'm trying to say is, just because somebody didn't read the book directly does not mean they don't know the book, bro. Because they could have gone the resources from somewhere else.
Yeah, blind people definitely can't read the Bible.
That is true.
Definitely.
No, I'm not saying. Go ahead,
bro. I've seen a lot of the whole religious cartoons where they're talking about the Bible and they're just showing interpretation of it as a cartoon or as a TV show.
No, I get that. You learn a lot from it. I learn a lot from that too. So, I'm not saying you can't learn from that. But what I'm saying is when someone makes a claim, the Bible has a lot of miscontradictions, but they can't specifically give examples based on the Bible itself. Why not just look for yourself and actually note that down and where they are, as opposed to just getting someone else's interpretation of that word? Which that's again, trust me, I used to do the same thing. That is true. I used to do the same thing.
But Carlos, what I'm trying to say is, and Jose, I know for a fact Jose has read the Bible because he has quoted shit that a lot of Christians don't even remember, like the story of Lazarus. So just Lazarus. So a lot of Christians don't even know about that story because I've asked a few.
But you also understand, being Christian is irrelevant because you can be a Christian and not even read the Bible. So what does that mean?
Or you can be a Christian that read the Bible and didn't even remember portions of what you fucking read.
Exactly.
I know a lot of people that can read some shit and don't understand it.
Correct, but you're making my point. So it goes back to the same thing. When you ask me that question, how many times have I gone to church? It's irrelevant.
And this kind of ties back to these pastors who be making money off of people that don't even read their fucking Bible.
100% true. They're worshiping the wrong person, bro.
They don't even know what is in the Bible. They're just going off of this one guy because it's more convenient. Who wants to read the Bible? Honestly, I remember
I do now. That's how.
But a lot of Christians, you'll be surprised. I mean, you won't be surprised, but there's a lot of Christians that don't read their Bible. They just don't read. They'll tell you quotes. Oh, David and Goliath. David beat Goliath. Yeah, but David also had to go out and cut 200 dick skins. You don't read that part.
Yeah.
No, he didn't start. No, he went to his enemies and got 200 dick skins to marry.
You know what they do also?
To marry a princess.
You know what they say in the Bible? They did, Jose? In the Bible. And when you reach this point, Carlos, where when they actually invade a city as one way of control, they'll rape the other people in the city, the men.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bible does not talk about
but you're acting like I'm saying. You're acting like I'm saying there's no bad people in the Bible or there's no sins in the Bible.
No, but I'm saying
I'm not saying that.
They don't split. But I'm telling you, these are the good people.
The what?
Yeah,
these are the good people.
Okay, but
I'm saying these are the good people.
But I'm sure there's context. See, this is the thing, right?
There's literally they don't even talk about. You know what the LGBT? They don't even talk about gender in the Bible.
Carlos, you know what you just did right now? You just gave the story, or you gave the verse, or you gave the sentence without context. Because I don't know the story, I haven't read it, but I'm assuming, and I'm pretty sure I'm accurate when it comes to this. You took that verse, you took that line, you took that segment, you took that situation out of context because you didn't specify anything else.
I did not take out of context.
So what's the context behind it? So, no. See, this is what I have an issue with. You always go back as Jose.
If he read the Bible, I've seen a story on that of the Bible.
Again, you are proving my point. You are
Jose, and I take it all the interpretation, Jose. I can't tell you the exact story, but I was seeing it on a documentary on this line because they're criticizing the Catholic Church for attacking LGBTQ.
Yes,
and they say there's nothing.
Yes, but listen,
wait, Carlos,
you're taking their word for it. What if, in the process of you reading it, you find out that the reason why they did that was something else that wasn't specified?
But there's nothing else.
How did you know that? You haven't read it. How did you know that? The only way you can come back that.
Okay, for example,
Carlos, but wait.
If I tell you, if you have a headache, and I'm gonna get.
But wait,
Carlos,
the only way.
Wait, Carlos.
It's very simple. But it's very
the same thing with science. No, Carlos. The same thing with science. If I tell you, bro, these computers work, fiber optic work, blinking lights, and there's mirrors in the cables, and you haven't opened up a fiber optic cable, you're going based off the documentation.
Yeah, I'm going based on I'm going based but it's up to me to decide if that's true or not. But I can't say that it is. You're saying that it's 100% is because you read it because you heard it somewhere. But you don't know. It brings back my point. There is no absolute unless you do it yourself. You're taking
a word. Open up a fiber optic cable, Carlos, by yourself.
What is your point? You're making my point though. You're having blind faith on someone telling you something. Which is fine.
You're talking about blind faith?
We all do it. We all do it with doctors. We all do it.
You're talking about blind faith?
I'm talking about blind faith on specific topics, yes. Because when I go to Walgreens and I pick up a medication, I can tell you what I think is in there, but I'm having blind faith on the person that put it together. That's what it is. I don't know. I can't say that what is in the label is inside of that medicine. I don't know that.
Okay. So, I mean, do you have faith or do you have confidence? Because there's like, I understand what you're saying. Faith, you can have blind faith in someone, or you can have confidence in someone who has demonstrated that they are capable, or they've done their due diligence and demonstrated that you can confide in them. So for me,
but I can't 100% say that it's true.
No, yeah. There's no 100% way. If I go to a doctor, I don't have faith in the doctor, blindly. I have confidence because in order to be a doctor, you have to go through certain things. You have to study. So for me, it's not faith.
Oh, what he said.
But
this is the difference. When he made the statement, when I asked him, how do you know it was out of context? He said it wasn't. How do you know that, Carlos?
Have faith in the documentary I've seen on
but you can actually verify. You can actually verify this. Hold on. You can actually open it up. Go ahead.
It had religious doctors, certified religious doctors. People went to school. They're not religious. They just went to school and study religion.
Yeah.
And they all spoke about it. I have faith on what they're saying is true. And for example, I said, Jose made no story. I know for a fact he read the fucking Bible. The complete thing.
But you also,
and he even nodded his head because he knows it's true what I'm saying.
You also in this call, and myself as well, and everybody here have also said that there's different ways to interpret the Bible. So to say that someone didn't, but hold on, to say that someone didn't take it out of context without you fully knowing that they did or not, you can't do that.
I don't remember. They said the line in the story, and the way it was written in the Bible. I don't remember the line because I didn't read this shit. But you could not take it out constantly. It was kind of very direct on the way they wrote this shit.
I agree with bias. I agree in bias. There are some things. There are some things that do you truly need context in order to be like, oh, you know what?
I don't know. We don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, if I were to say, I killed a child, would you be like, well, I kind of need context to see if it was okay to kill it?
I do need context. What if that child was going to kill your child? Yeah, that's context right there. That's what I'm saying. That you can't take these little verses for what they are. You have to have context.
They actually put the line. I don't remember the line. Like I said,
I know. But
they actually put the line, and it was kind of hard to interpret it a different way because it literally said
it's a line. Jose just gave me a line, and he said, "How can you tell a different way?" I gave him an example. What if right before that line basically said, "Hey, this evil child or this child that whatever had a knife and was going to kill your child," but all you read was, "Oh, I killed a child." That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm referring to.
On the story they were talking about, I can't tell you the line. It was the city of sin. When God attacked the city of sin with the religious or military, I forgot what the name of the city was, that got destroyed in the action. One of the ways they did with the other military was the man of this military, for control, raped the other man.
No, and that might be
exactly worded in that way. It wasn't, oh, they raped the people.
Stop saying the word grape.
Grape,
please.
Facts. You gotta say grape. Bro.
Stop saying. And we're so left field on this. It's ridiculous.
This is what happens when we have Carlos on. He always diverts to something else.
They don't. I'm just trying to say they graped the people of the town of sin. I don't know what the name of the town of sin was. And it was very direct the way they put it. There was no way of interpreting a different way. It wasn't a metaphor.
I don't know. I can't agree or disagree if there was another way to interpret that because I haven't read it for myself. Now, I could read it just like anybody else can read it because that book is out there. You can read it. It's not like it's a difference between.
It's the same thing as a diagnosis card. A medical diagnosis. They have medical books.
Let me make my point. The only way I can verify if the medication that they're giving me, I have to go through medical school and all these other things, which is a lot harder than just picking up the book that you can find online and read it for yourself. So somebody can do that. I can't do the whole medical stuff, but I can do it.
If I tell you, Carlos, that you have a certain disease, and I say, hey, bro, these are all the scientific documentation on it.
Yeah.
Go read it.
Yeah.
Or you go see a fucking specialist that read the book and says, hey, I recommend this.
Yeah, but the problem, the difference is
you can go read it.
No, but listen, the difference is you're given a very specific story and a very specific point in the story, so I can easily look that up. It's not going to take me years to do that, right?
And you can go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. But you're proving my point. I could do that. So this is what, but the way that you have it,
I took faith in a college certified.
Which is good.
Scientist,
which is good.
A Christian, one of those people that go to school for religion. Yes. They don't actually are religious. They go to school to study religion.
I agree with what you're saying.
And they interpret it.
Yeah. But the way that you said it, and this is the only issue that I have here, and this is the problem that I have when people say there's absolutes. You said there is no other way for them to put it but the way they put it. It
was extremely direct.
You actually don't. No, you cannot verify that unless you read that.
But it was one of the very few lines in that Bible where it's not metaphorically that you can perceive in a different way. It was very direct.
Again, you might be correct, but do you really truly know? Probably not. Right? That again, this is what I'm going back to. You can be correct, but can you be absolutely correct?
I think so let me chime in real quick. I think when it's something as important as your belief in a God, then in my opinion, you should really read the book.
That's it.
That this God, you basically, you're putting your whole life this idea that this God exists and this Bible writes about it. Now
medical doctor.
What?
No, yeah. I mean, like, okay, you can have confidence in a medical doctor,
correct?
Right? You can have confidence.
He studied the book and he went to medical school and he got his license.
Okay, but
yes, and he could still be fraudulent. He can lie to you.
Yes.
He can lie to you, right? There's been doctors that have lied about their degrees, so it's so you can never be too sure. There's no absolutes. There's no
but there can be if you just go to the book and read it for yourself. Now, if you take the same interpretation out of it, then you're good. I don't believe in absolutes. That's what I meant. I'm sorry, not absolute. That you can verify if their interpretation was accurate to the same one that you got.
I mean, that's the problem with you will never know how the author was trying to interpret that passage.
Yes.
You will never know because we don't have access to the author.
Correct. But to say
that's why
other way to say that there
wanted a line
besides that.
It's part of the Benjamin War. You wanted a line. You wanted the exact fucking thing.
No, I don't want the line. I don't know the line.
Levi concubine Benjamin War.
The what?
Levite concubine, also known as the Benjamite War.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Where those had gang rape too. Gang rape.
Bro, Jesus Christ, man. Again, we're getting away from the topic.
And wait, to the defense of some of the Christians, they were outroared about that passage. And they wanted it removed.
Okay.
Which didn't get removed.
Which is fine. I don't think
a lot of stuff got censored in the Bible.
Which is fine. I don't think anything should be removed. I think everything should be there. And then you make
a lot of stuff censored.
And then and then you make your own interpretation from there.
The Sea Scrolls, the Dead Sea Scrolls, actually found a lot of stuff that was censored in the modern day Bible that shows up on the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yeah. What's your point?
My point was that you said the historical document that was censored.
Yeah, but my original point of historical documents still stands. As when I refer to historical documents, I'm talking about the historical documents that are available. I can't speak on the ones that are not available. At that point, I just be guessing. You got to study the ones that are available, and then you make your decision.
For example, you kept saying, "Oh, because you haven't read the Bible." I found the line. Just because I didn't read it directly doesn't mean the person, the documentary I was seeing, was not telling the truth.
Wait, so is that the same way that you said that I don't go to church, so I'm not valuable for that? Is that the same argument? Because you said that. You said, "Oh, how many times have you been to church?" Wow, sounds like a little bit contradicted on that one. Huh? Interesting.
Is he frozen? Is he frozen? He froze for a second.
No, I didn't froze. I didn't freeze. I'm just saying.
But you see what I'm saying, Carlos? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, because you keep saying you didn't read it. You keep throwing it out there.
No. But I'm not just saying that. But I'm not just saying that you didn't read it. I'm saying, I asked you, how do you know that it wasn't taken out of context? And the way that you said it was, there was no way for it to be taken out of context. How do you know
that line that they presented on the screen, that's straight from the Bible, and I'll look up the line, I'll post on the comments.
Yes.
It was very extremely direct.
Correct, but that's also it. But
that's Bible lines are not direct; they're metaphors. They're very open.
But again, you're missing the point. That is also just one line. Just like Jose, how he made an example of using a one-liner, and then I gave him context behind that one-liner. They probably didn't give you context behind the TV.
Yeah, but Jose would have said you killed a baby.
The what?
If you would have killed a baby, you're gonna say, "Oh, the baby tried to kill me."
No. He made a one statement.
He said a kid. Oh, okay. If the Bible said they killed a baby,
yeah.
You take that out of context, Carlos.
Well, I don't know what was before that.
Baby.
I don't know what was before that, or after that. In the next chapter, does it refer that again? I don't know.
Well, I think what Bias is trying to say is that he's trying to look for rare instances where you wouldn't need context. Correct. Would there be an acceptable context in which a baby is killed?
Yeah.
In your mind, you're like, there's good reasons to kill a baby.
Yeah. So for example, let's just say that they say, "Oh, a baby was killed," and they don't refer to it in the entire book ever again. Then yeah, at that point there is no context behind it. That's like, what the hell is that? Now, if you tell me a baby was killed, and then 3 chapters later they tell you why that baby was killed, that's the context.
But what would be an acceptable reason to kill a baby?
No, I'm giving an example. Could you?
I know. Yeah. But let's say someone said that exact thing. They killed the baby.
Okay, you could say, all right. No, yeah, you can say, for example, like,
how you interpret it?
No, you can say, I'm gonna tell you right now how you can get away with doing that. Let's just say that at the end of the day, you are, your wife is getting pregnant. I mean, your wife is pregnant,
birth,
and is having a baby, right?
Yeah.
And the only way to keep her alive is to kill the baby. That right there is context. Ooh. That's what I'm referring to. That is context. So yes, you can definitely kill a baby for a good reason, quote unquote.
Is that a good reason though?
Well, I don't know. Is it to you? It might be. But what I'm saying is, do you see how important context can be, Carlos? It could be very important because you could be missing information.
Moral of the story, kids, ladies and gentlemen, read your Bible. Yeah. Right. So that way you don't get. That way you don't get bamboozled by these pastors, man. Going back to the subject that we completely derailed from, and these mega churches, they're betting on the fact that you didn't read your Bible. I'm telling you right now, they bet
100% accurate.
They're like, honestly, yes,
bro. That is probably the best thing that's been said all night. They are banking on the fact that you didn't read it.
going forward, anytime you get a prescription, I want you to read the whole scientific documentation on that prescription.
I could, but I can't. But I can't verify. But I'm agreeing with you. I can't verify it. I'm agreeing with you. I can't verify.
You have to read the documentation.
I'm taking a blind faith on that. But I'm agreeing with you, Carlos, because I know that came up with that argument.
You can read it yourself.
I could.
You could read the scientific documentation on ibuprofen.
But I'm perfectly fine.
And anti-inflammatory and those types of pills.
But you are.
And then you go historical and find out how they are created.
Carlos, you are taking defeat very, very.
I'm not taking defeat.
You criticize
me. You criticize me. You said, "Oh, you did not read it yourself."
Again, out of context. Again, you're saying it out of context. I don't think you understand what context is, Carlos.
The last 20 minutes was, bro, how do you know? You did not read it yourself.
No. What I said was, can you verify? Because you specifically said there is no other way it can be said. You don't know that. You're assuming and you're hoping that it can't be, but do you actually know?
Just go on the Old Testament and read.
The answer is
19 through 21.
The answer, no, and that's why. Again, I'm not saying that.
Judges 21, and you interpret the way.
But again, not once did I say that your story wasn't accurate.
There's a difference, Carlos. You said interpretation, right? English language interpretation. You take a scholar of the English language. You tell them to read the Bible. They're going to interpret it based off the English language. They'll probably interpret it better than all of us here in this fucking table.
Yeah, I agree with you. But
okay, so is their interpretation an educational scholar that focuses on that all day long of their career?
Yeah,
they're gonna have a better interpretation than I do.
But that wasn't my argument.
How you put it.
But that wasn't my argument. My argument was, what was the context? That was my argument.
My argument is I took their interpretation of the profession.
But that was never the argument.
It's the same way you take the interpretation that you have inflammatory. Let's say you have inflammatory hands, and your primary care doctor says, "Oh, take some fucking ibuprofen, and you may have a rheumatoid arthritis."
Yeah, but
you go by the professional.
Yeah, but taking interpretation and missing context are two different things.
You go by the
okay. I see what you're saying, Baez, right? Because there are nuances and there's ways to read the Bible that are very sophisticated, right? Yeah. Some things that are not easily attainable just on common sense, just like the regular Joe Schmo wouldn't be able to dissect the Bible or any historical document the way that a professional scholar would be able to dissect a piece of literature. Because there have been times where I'll listen to lectures on these like theologians, right, who can dissect the Bible in ways that I just never even thought of. I'm like, oh my God, he made very valid points that even if I had read the Bible like a million times, I probably would have never thought of it in the ways that these guys have thought of it.
Correct.
Because they have training in ways where they just like, look, this is So in regards to Baez, he's saying that I'm relying on these these scholars to look at the Bible and digest and feed it to me in a way that I can digest it a little bit more, because these guys are really like they are going into like thoughts of concepts that just regular people just don't have time to do, like
I agree.
I
agree. But again, you guys are just leaving that one thing out. When he said
context,
when he said they put the line on the screen directly from the Bible, you're right. That might be accurate. They might have just put that specific line on the screen and worked around it. But what was the paragraph before that? What was the paragraph after that? We don't know. And what I'm saying is you can actually verify to see if it was true, because for all you know, they put that one line and took it out of context. And then you ask, how can something specifically be taken out of context, like such a thing as killing a baby? Jose gave an example, and I told him how it could be done, and it could be taken out of context.
The Bible you're reading is probably around.
Wait, I can't hear you.
The Bible you're reading right now, the King James Version, is around 900 years old.
Yeah.
And if you would have read the older one, the 2000-year one, people wrote so the way they write was completely different.
You mean the Old Testament, right?
No, the actual version of your Bible.
Yeah. No. But I'm
Old English. You're talking about Old English, right? You're talking about Old English.
the King James Bible is based off
like thou shalt not divide that way versus like layman terms.
Even the way people spoke, you did a thou that way, but even the way that people use can be misinterpreted today.
No,
easily.
but but again, we're having two different arguments.
We're having two different arguments. I'm not saying that you can interpret it correctly, and I'm saying no. I was reading I was seeing a documentary on it. I see a lot of historical documentary, and they brought up that point, and I'm like, holy shit.
No, I understand.
You kept criticizing me, saying, what line was it? But what part?
But you're so fixated on the way that you interpret a phrase as opposed to the context.
I didn't. Like I said, they put the line. I interpret the same way as a professional on the screen.
Exactly, and then I asked you, and
the doctor interpreted the same way.
Yeah, and then I asked you, how do you know that it wasn't out of context? And then you gave me the following: there was no other way it could be taken out of context.
So and that line they put,
how do you know that?
Explicit.
What? Say it again. What you say?
I think that if you're really passionate about the Bible,
am I wrong about this, Jose? Am I wrong for just asking?
I think you guys are both right in different levels, right? Yeah. So Baez is relinquishing his, like, he's acknowledging, like, look, I don't have time to read the Bible. I'm relying on people who spend their whole lives reading the Bible, so that way I can understand, a certain point of view, and then he'll digest multiple sources of theology. And that's okay, because you know what?
I do it.
That's fair. And then you're saying, read it for yourself, digest it yourself, and
no. I'm not even saying that. I'm not even saying you don't have to do that. But what I'm saying is, when you make the claim and you specifically say there was no other way it can be interpreted, well, how do you know that? That's where I go in. Like,
okay, yeah, then yeah, that's a fair point. Like, there are multiple ways that you can interpret it, and that's fair, because that's also apparent in Christians. There's like 20.
Oh, go ahead.
There's like 20,000 denominations for Christianity, just because there's so many interpretations. Right. So the idea that there's no other way it could be interpreted, I don't know.
Listen, I do it all the time. I watch documentaries and I form my own opinion based on those things. But when I specifically have an argument or a disagreement and I say there was absolutely no other way it could have been done, that's where I run into the issue. It's like, do I really know that? I don't know that unless I look at it for myself.
And that's very important, because a lot of Christians will resort to that sort of argument.
Exactly.
Especially it's like, well, if God didn't make the universe, then what did? Correct. And you're sort of using the logic. It's like, we don't know the things we don't know.
We don't know the things we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. So just because God didn't, just because I don't think the God that made the universe doesn't mean that there's no other possibility that. Yeah, so that's a good.
It's like you, Jose, tell me something. I trust you. I'm gonna believe you, but there's no actual way for me to know if it's 100% true unless I verify for myself. Not to say that you're incorrect, but
right.
I say something in a very specific form of text, and I may miss the entire context behind it.
And that's a very good way of seeing it, because you don't attribute anyone as an authority in anything, because that's also a fallacy, thinking that any single one point of reference it can be an authority. Some people will be like, oh, Richard Dawkins is an authority on atheism. It's like, you can't make anyone an authority. He has a lot of knowledge in atheism and evolution and stuff, but to say he's an authority figure, there's no real authority.
And the thing is, he might be right, but you run into issues when you specifically abide and you say that it is 100% no other way. That's when the issue comes into play.
Yeah, there's no absolute. There's no way. There's no absolutes. In my sort of thinking, there's no absolutes. Even the smartest person in the world can be wrong about other things.
Yes.
Just because Einstein was right about black holes and gravity doesn't mean he was right about everything. And that's the misconception that people have, that just this guy is so smart. How can he be wrong? he's human.
He could be wrong.
he's human. I'm pretty sure he was wrong on a bunch of stuff.
For example, like, you know, I have my fiance here. I've known her for the last 8 years, right? I trust her with everything. But
no, Sasha's never wrong. Sasha's never wrong.
No, but wait. Can I absolutely know that I'm not gonna get killed by her tonight when I go to sleep? No, I don't know that.
No.
There's no way for me to know that. I can hope, I can have faith, I can believe she won't do it, but do I really know that? I don't.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. There's nothing
wrong. You sleep with one eye open.
There's nothing wrong with taking sources from somewhere else. Trust me, I do it for everything as well. Yeah, and I could have an opinion on it. But when I say there is 100% no other way for it to be taken, now I'm putting 100% of my eggs in one basket that I have not researched it for myself.
But I think, you know, you don't have to read the Bible. Like, it's possible to never read the Bible and know a lot about the Bible.
100%.
Yeah,
it is.
Because I mean, just like I mentioned, blind people can never read the Bible. But you know what? Blind people have to rely on other people telling them about the Bible.
All right. So you know what they say? So you know what they can say? In my opinion, based on the information that I've gotten, based on this research that I've acquired from everybody else, this is what I come to conclude. But they cannot say it is absolutely that way because they can't verify the word for themselves.
Right.
And that's what I have an issue with.
You exist is not verifiable.
To what?
It was. But you agree.
If you go by that concept, nothing is verifiable.
To a certain degree, things are verifiable, but nothing is absolute.
Correct.
Nothing is there's no absolute.
But I just gave you an example. You can verify that. Wait.
The same way as the example said about the doctor and medical school.
But let's stick to the specific story here. The story that you were told and the story that you did that you saw, it can be verified by you. You can open the book and read it to see if it was there. In the way
I said, you can verify the medication that prescribed to you.
And I
could go and read them, and you can. But what's going to happen?
But I would never make
to read those. But this is the issue why I said we're writing. Yeah. If you try to read the medical documentation on the scientific level, you're not going to understand what the fuck they're saying because they use a lot of phrases that not used.
But the problem that you made,
the same thing with legal documents.
Made one problem.
When you get a legal document from a lawyer, you cannot read it because it's all the legal jargon they put into it.
I know, but you only made one problem, and the problem that you made was when you said there is absolutely
that
no
line
other
was
way
extremely direct.
What happened?
The line was extremely direct. I said
was
extremely direct.
But that is flawed because you cannot guarantee there was any.
Jose, if I give you a line, if I say, Jose, the sky is blue, and you look up at the sky and it's blue, the line is extremely direct. It says
no, it's not.
It looks blue.
It's not. Oh, it's only blue today because this happened. That's context. Without context, you don't have that.
I remember I said the line was extremely direct.
It becomes like there's I think there's more things.
Let me simplify. Before I forget, let me simplify. You said the line was specifically direct. Cool. But guess what? You were telling a story. So to focus the entire story on that one line and say there was absolutely no other way that it could be come across is incorrect. It's one thing if you said, yo, I took this line and this is how I read it. But no, you specifically said they were telling a story and they put one line on the screen.
Because there are lines in the Bible that you can read and I can interpret it one way, Jose can interpret it one way, fucking everyone else in the whole neighborhood, one line.
I agree with you.
If a line says, hey bro, the sky is blue.
But we are agreeing with each other. But the issue that I have here is that you specifically said that there was no other way to put it, but you haven't read it for yourself. I think you missed.
Yeah. The argument is
on the screen. I technically read the line that's on the Bible,
but you didn't read the context. You said there was no context behind it.
So the argument is: are there things that you don't need context for in order to determine that it is wrong or right?
There might be, but you know how you verify that? By reading the entire book. That's the only way you verify that.
And Baez, you brought up graping, right? Is there context required in order to establish that grape is never a good thing to do?
There could be. I mean, I always think it's bad, but if you
to
really want to
say
do it, if you really want to put it, no, wait, I could. Again, it's never a good thing. But if you really want to put context behind it, you can say, hey, listen, you got to grape this person or your entire family dies. That's context. That right there is context.
That is context, but
That's
it's not a
saying.
good thing.
Still immorally bad.
But it's still context.
Immorally bad. I don't care how you
still,
put it.
Right, but the argument is the argument was is that thing, can you determine that it is wrong to do irregardless of whether you have context or not? Like, can you be like, you know what, it's wrong, even if I got the context, it's still wrong?
Well, it depends. Who is it wrong to? Because what do you mean?
I don't care how you put it, bro. Grape.
Can grape ever be right?
I don't think it is, but you said that.
Yeah, so you don't. So that's one thing in which you would never need context to establish.
No,
you know what? That's wrong.
No, to me is incorrect. But if I had met somebody else and they told me, "Hey, listen, I was forced to grape this person, otherwise my entire family was gonna die," you know what? I would still think is wrong, but I could understand on why he did it. That's the difference. That's the context behind it.
Grape somebody.
As opposed to me just condemning.
How was you forced to grape somebody, bro?
Hold on.
You're still immorally bad.
Carlos,
I don't care how you put it.
Carlos,
you're still graping.
Carlos, but you see it different. As of me condemning him for the action, I could at least see why he did it. That's the difference.
No, that's the major difference, bro. I don't care how what context you put it.
It lends itself to this other conversation that I don't want to talk about right now because we're already over. It lends itself to the conversation of, can there ever be an absolute good or bad thing? Is good and bad just subjective? Are there any objective good or bad things? And it sounds like Carlos Bello is saying that things can simultaneously exist in a good and bad state at the same time, and that there's no such thing as anything absolutely good or absolutely bad. Is that? Oh, well, no, I'm that's my interpretation. Okay. Is that? Would you agree with that?
So for example, the whole grape situation, I think that is immoral to do in any situation. But what I'm saying is that based on the context, I can see why somebody would do it as opposed to not doing it. That's what I'm saying.
Right. So, okay. So you're saying that you don't need context to know that grape is bad.
Say it again.
You don't need context to know grape is bad.
For what I believe, no, I don't. But I'm not. But if there is context, and I could verify the context, explain the situation differently.
Right, but would it, even if you had the context, would it make it good?
It depends. It could be good for him or whoever did it.
But that's making this event objective. It's subjective, subjectively good.
Yeah,
it's like grape can be good.
I don't think it can be.
But you just said it can be good for him.
Yeah, based on, but on my belief, no, it's not.
I think what Carl's trying to say is, like, for example, if I show up on the scripture saying, "Hey, Carl's murdered somebody," but they don't put, "Oh, he was about to get shot by that somebody, and he shot him first."
Correct.
And
Correct.
My life is more important than your life in this situation.
Yeah. Correct.
Murder is bad.
Yeah.
But if it's mine or yours, it's gonna be you instead of me.
Yeah. We should talk about that next week. Is good and bad subjective or objective?
You know what? That is a good episode for next week. And honestly, that's definitely a good episode for next week, for sure.
Is it subjective? Because you know what? I think Carlos Bello, you're making a strong argument that it is subjective. For me, at least, I see what I'm hearing is like subjectively.
For me, there's a very clear line on what is good and what is bad. But with that being said, you run in the very thin line of, if you're forced to do something for your own benefit or for your family's benefit, doesn't make it morally right. Again, this is why context is important.
Technically, the mega churches, bro, they're doing it for the family. They're trying to give the family the best life they can.
You're smuggling in the word morally right when we're not talking about morals. We're talking about good.
So they're taking all morals aside, taking them all out.
Yeah, because you're smuggling in the word moral, but I don't think we're talking about morals. We're talking about good and bad.
Well, I mean, good or bad have to do with morals.
Technically,
no.
Guys, bro.
Morals
does. They're trying to do good for the family.
morals does have to, you need good and bad to establish morals, but you don't need morals to establish good and bad.
Correct.
Say it again.
Okay. So
I'm sorry. I can only hear him because he's frozen. So
you need good and bad to establish morals.
Correct.
But you don't need morals to establish good and bad. No, good and bad exists outside of morals.
I believe everyone has good and bad.
Like for example, if I get the job and you don't, is it moral? Does morals come into play? No, but it is a good thing for me, and it's a bad thing for you. But there's no morals involved. But morally speaking, all morals have to do with good and bad.
This is where the key element is missing, and it's called intention. What is your intention behind your action? Is your intention to hurt the other person? Is that morally correct? Or is your intention, go ahead.
Yeah, and that still makes it subjective. It doesn't make it objective.
For example, if I put an offer on a property, I know Jose's put an offer, and I'm like, oh, bro, he's going to put an offer. I'll put $5,000 more. And this might be his life deal, and I just take it over. I intentionally know what I'm doing it, but I'm doing it legally. Is that bad?
And just like that, we're still talking about this shit. You know what? This has been a great conversation. I know people are like, whoa, we started with megachurches. Now we're trying to figure out what's good and evil. Yeah, that'll be a good conversation for next week. I'll make sure I'm jumping off this McDonald's Wi-Fi. I don't know what happened.
Man, I don't know what the hell is going on with your shit.
You guys had an earthquake.
I think it was a good conversation. I think we have some common ground, right? Common ground being that these guys are taking advantage of people that don't read the Bible. I think that's the common ground, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's common ground.
And now, wait. And before
I was gonna read the medication records, you guys.
Hold on. And before we
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, he reels it back in. You ever seen that fucking insurance commercial of the guy with the fish reeling you back in or whatever? That's him, bro. That's him. Jesus. Let it go. You know what? I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh man.
No. I got it back. So
okay. There you go.
Even if we blame these mega churches, do we blame and can we actually hold the blame on the people attending these mega churches? Even after they find out that the type of life that these people have of the ones that they worship is not in line with the morals of the Bible. Can we blame the people attending these churches?
They're ignorant of the Bible, so they're not aware.
So can we blame them? Because you should, if you're gonna, like you said before, if you are gonna live your life according to certain rules, you should absolutely verify these rules.
Will you say that they also bring people to the religion and open a lot of people's eyes into the religion?
They do. But what if they open it up with the wrong message? Are they actually being hurt in the long term?
Who determines the wrong message? That's the problem. There's no authority that says
that's very
this
simple.
is the
that's
wrong.
Very simple. If the word that you're again, and it's all based on religion,
it goes back to interpretation.
It goes based on
interpretation by a person.
If your word differs, no, not even your word. If your word and the person that's preaching the word, if their lifestyle differs from the word, do you take that person seriously? And the answer would be no, because if you're going to take a word from a person preaching and the actual word that in their lifestyles don't match the Bible, do you actually take them seriously?
Oh man, now that I think of it, I'm just like, it does matter. It matters on interpretation, because what if they're just like, oh no, the pastor's supposed to look, decked out in Louis. That's how I interpret the Bible.
No, but that is true. But what does it say that in the Bible?
No, I'm just saying, I'm giving you an example. Like maybe somehow, some way, they've interpreted in a fashion where, okay, it's fine that the pastor's rolling in a Rolls Royce. I don't see any problem with it.
No, which is fine. They could interpret it that way if there was a passage that would even remotely close to being close to that, but there isn't.
Yeah, I remember that case with that guy. He interpreted the Bible saying that he can put like like his farm stuff on public land. It was like in 2001 case.
What the fuck are you looking at, bro? What?
And that's the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Interpretation. This guy interpreted the Bible saying that he can use government land for fucking thing. He got sued. It was a major case in 2001.
So the question would be, let's just say he did interpret that. The question would be, what passage did you actually read that from that came remotely close to that statement? If they can't give you one, then that's how you know they're full of shit.
Yeah, they
might give you one, and you might interpret it like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah, but there's a difference in misinterpreting something and just straight out lying on what the passage says.
Well, have you guys heard of this phrase, mental gymnastics?
Yeah.
Yeah, they extrapolate. It's the mental gymnastics that gets you. They will do the biggest
portions from everywhere. And flip it around and say, oh, because here it says this and this. A lot. Sorry, the people on the right. I am more capitalist than anything. But a lot of people on the right, they do that. They'll grab passages and they'll flip it around and they'll say, oh, this is the.
Wait, is that it? Yeah, I agree with you.
It's true. It's true. So, go ahead. What?
I said that goes to both sides, but I agree with what you said.
Yeah, so that's the moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't think we found one yet.
I don't think we found one, but you know what? If we did, we probably win Nobel Peace Prizes because let's be honest, no one has ever settled these sort of conversations, right? But that was a good convo, fellas. I think we're about to wrap it up. Next week we're going to talk about good and evil, good and bad, subjective, objective. Does it all make sense?
I'm good with that. I'm good with that topic.
Let us know what y'all think about our little discussion. I know a lot of people who follow us, who are our family. They go to mega churches. Is it worth all that money to give it to them and just have that sense that it's all worth it? I don't know, maybe. Let us know.
Is it worth it giving it to the church if that's all you have, as opposed to giving it when you have more?
Yeah. So let us know. Like the video if you liked it. I don't blame you if you didn't.
2 hours.
Subscribe. We out. Have a happy weekend. This is the Man Cave.
Have a blessed weekend.
We out. Have a blessed weekend. Amen.